Is that despite all the debacle going on around, of course, this very sensitive time here in London with the forthcoming funeral of course, our wonderful late monarch, Queen Elizabeth, well, Harry and Meghan are still pushing ahead and they want to know exactly where they stand with those titles. That's right. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to see you. Thank you also for your kind comments about, yes, finding the cafe with the Horlicks in. I know, if anybody spots another one while you're in London, do let me know. It's odd, by the way, you know, when you go in and you ask for Horlicks, they look at you as if, never heard of that, you know. And when you think about it, it's still a popular drink, obviously, because you can buy it in supermarkets over here. And of course, I know a lot of people that like it. A friend of mine said to me the other day, who was a little bit younger than me, he said, "Oh, that's an old person's drink." I'm just debating whether to put them on the naughty step. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's an old person's drink, do you? Nothing wrong with malted milk, a couple of jammies, is there? I mean, but you know, every sort of thing has a generation, doesn't it? Have you noticed now as well how these people buy these coffees in tins, you know, espresso shots? As long as you make it funky and trendy, people will buy anything. Yes, I know, probably people are thinking, yes, they don't buy Horlicks now, but no, it's true, isn't it? But if you do spot somewhere in London that's now currently selling Horlicks, I'd love to know. Not that I'll be opening my wallet, of course, far too tight for that, but it's good to share with other people, unless, of course, it's on an offer, a bargain. Anyway, I'm waffling. Back as ever to your breaking balls story of the day. This story really, again, you know, just keeps rearing its ugly head, because if you recall back, Meghan Markle said titles meant nothing, then she banged on about wanting a title for her son, Archie, you know, even though they meant nothing to her because she saw celebrities. A real mess when you think about it. It's such a contradiction in terms. That's the problem with Meghan, you know, she says things and then doesn't realise that she's reiterated her own mistakes. Hence the reason she gets herself in so much trouble, because if she'd just been honest and said, look, I personally wasn't bothered about a title for myself, but what I would have liked for my son is a title. Was that possible? Now, we all know, of course, that she was offered a title for her son, the Earl of Dumbarton, and we know that story behind that, don't we? But what's fascinating, I think, in itself is the fact that they keep pushing ahead now that we have a brand new king in King Charles III. So where do we actually stand? Well, according to a very good source, King Charles III, as you know, publicly announced recently on his first ever speech to the nation and the world as king that he wished Harry and Meghan all the best as they continue their life overseas. On the royal website, they're deemed simply just Mr. and Miss, or Master, should I say. So really, that's a good indication of where we're at. Now, because he's automatically become King Charles III, they are allowed to call themselves Prince and Princesses. You know, that's the way it goes. It's the royal protocol. But the HRH titles are bestowed upon them by the reigning monarch, and they can be taken away at any point. Now, the reason why they like the HRH titles, according to a good source, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, is, of course, it's better, isn't it? It sounds great. His Royal Highness Prince Archie. Never really had a ring to it, that though, has it? And Her Royal Highness Lilibet Diana, or Lily Diana, whichever you want to call her. So where are they actually at? Well, what we can tell you first and exclusive on the show is, once again, the rather sage and wise head of His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, Prince William, has stepped forward and is ensuring that his father, King Charles III, basically just holds fire until the resolution with the book that Prince Harry is allegedly going to plough ahead with. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because that book now that he's written in haste could determine his future, and more importantly, the connection back with his once close and loving family. And as Prince William's pointed out, should he be negative, of course, then the bottom line is, you know, where do they stand with that? So Harry running off again in haste, no doubt pushed along by his wife Meghan Markle, have made sure that they've made things incredibly difficult for themselves. A lot of people are stating, could this actually happen? There'd have to be a lot of thawing under the bridge for it to happen, but it certainly won't be looked at least until the spring of next year. And then, of course, let's not forget, we have to look forward to a very busy time planning ahead for the coronation. As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.